These are 4 awesome, amazing knives from Kunwu. 3 of these I own in my own collection. 1 is a borrowed one from a friend, Lefty EDC. And we're about to check them all out here in this video. By the way, if you're brand new to Kunwu, you don't know what kind of knives they make, you're definitely in for a treat. We're going to go in no particular order. And all of these knives are going to be linked down below in the description and pinned comments. So if you want to check them out, check those links. Those do help out the channel. Absolutely 0 extra cost to you, but of course, completely up to you as well. And let's jump right into it. Starting us off here is the Kunwu Django, right? This one is just an amazing, amazing knife. It has a perfect size, even though they make an XL version if you have big old bear paws. I do have an XL version coming up. Here's one of these 4 knives that we're talking about, so you get a chance to check those out. We'll do some size comparisons at the end so you can see them all side by side. But the Django is amazing. Starting with the blade there, we have a beautiful fuller on a clip point blade. It is a flat satin finish, flat grind going on here with an opening hole. We have LMAX steel, and it just looks really, really good. Not to mention, moving on to the titanium handle, we have beautiful milling, beautiful pattern here with a diamond milling on the titanium, looking pretty good, pretty high quality stuff. That is what Kunwu is very well known for. So if you're completely new to Kunwu, that is definitely something you should absolutely keep in mind. This one here is an absolute banger and one of my all-time favorites in my collection. I often struggle a little bit choosing which Kunwu to carry because I love each and every single one of the ones I own so much. So the action here is really, really good. This thing is on ball bearings. They definitely know how to make a crossbar lock. What they do is they give it sort of this little jimped little buttons on each side, right? That gives you a lot of grip there. The action is really good, right? Very good omega springs, amazing ball bearing action, and the ergos are also pretty on point there. You have the ability to do a hammer grip like this, right? Standard grip, but most of them have a very good finger choil that you can forward choke on and get even more control of the blade as you're doing your cuts, whether it be tabletop cutting with the belly on the Django here or slicing, you know, whatever it is you got going on for your EDC task. This thing is definitely going to not only perform, obviously that's a given, but also look very, very good at the same time. This one is absolutely a stunner. I absolutely love this knife, and I'm so glad I picked one up. I borrowed one from the Lefty EDC pass around, fell in love with it, and I picked it up right away. This is my very first Kunwu knife that I ever picked up, and this is going to be a keeper in my collection for a long time to come. By the way, I do have specific review videos for each of these knives, so if you want to go in more detail, you absolutely can check those out. For example, Kunwu Django Miguel EDC review, right? You'll be able to pull that up right away and check that out. But yeah, absolutely love the Django, right? Check out the geometry here. If this speaks to you, right, you can absolutely go for it. You would not be disappointed. That's how good of a knife this is. And basically a recurring theme with all of Kunwu's knives, without a doubt. So that is the Django, right, coming in first in the list here. Checking out the next one here, we have the Kunwu Chad. Kunwu Chad here. I mean, I really got this one. First of all, because it is my kind of geometry. Same deal here. I borrowed this one from the Lefty EDC knife pass around. Ended up falling in love with it so much that I had to give my own, right? Put my order in, and I got pretty fast delivery from Kunwu. We have a very interesting steel here, PM60, which is a very hard steel. This thing is a laser beam. That's how sharp it is. Flat grind. And I love the geometry here. It's kind of like a Warncliffe, which is one of my favorite geometries of all time. I like Warncliffe the best, sheep's foot, and then everything else. But yeah, this is just really good for utilitarian cuts and draw cuts, utility cuts. Love the straight edge on this one, which is really good. And you know, amazing actions, just like, again, the same crossbar lock experience like on the Django, right? Same jimping on the buttons there, and smooth ball bearings. And overall, really good, you know, omega spring action. You gotta check out the attention to detail on the milling on this guy, right? You have the diamond pattern on this one going on all around, and you have this other smaller, you know, milling going on the edges there that give it additional personality all around. That's really nice. The thumb studs are sort of like these thumb ramps, if you would. Gonna give you a lot of leverage there, a lot of grip as you push the blade open like that. So the thumb deployment is good. The reverse flick action is also really good. I mean, I absolutely love this thing. They maxed out the blade to handle ratio on this thing is so maxed out to the point where, you know, the blade closes so close to the very tippity end here of the handle. And so there's definitely a lot of blade there for the handle you got here. This is a sandwich construction with inset liners, standoffs, the titanium pocket clip, right, which is, you know, similar to the one on the Django except a little bit longer. And overall, just a, you know, slightly bigger knife, right? You have this curvature here for your index finger. All other fingers follow suit, and I have a full purchase here on my average size hands. Not necessarily a finger choke, but I can forward choke here a little bit if I want to. I'm still plenty away from the blade there and get some more controls of my cuts and what have you. Absolutely love the Chad for that. So Chad, another one of my all-time favorites because it has one of my all-time favorite geometries on the blade, and this one is going to be a keeper in my collection pretty much for a long time to come, if not ever. So not going around anytime soon. Next, we have a knife. This one is the Kunwu Pulsar XL. That I'm not exactly sure if I'm worthy or not of the sheer size of this thing. I should have, honestly, now that I look at it in retrospective, I probably should have gotten the Pulsar regular size, not the XL, because I feel like with my average size hands, my hands are not built for this thing. Check out the hammer grip, right? Check out how much room I still got up there. It does come with an awesome finger choke, so I can forward choke on it and get a way more control. And check out how much handle I still got left over here. I mean, I kind of wanted to kind of check out what their XL size knives were all about, and this one certainly did not disappoint. It's an absolute Titanic. So for my guys out there who are always commenting, say, hey Miguel, where the big knives at? We want to see some more big knives in the channel. What's going on? I got you. Look no further than the Pulsar XL, right? This thing is quite the size there for you. As a matter of fact, let's just bring out the measuring tape here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, it's under 9 inches. It's very close to maybe like 8.9 inches or so. So, I mean, we're talking about quite the knife there. It is called the XL for a reason. So, a couple of things you'll notice on this one is you have the same beautiful diamond pattern titanium on this one. We do have the very well executed crossbar with their, you know, jimp buttons, which works really, really good, as you have seen in the other two models. The Pulsar XL gets the Damascus pivot cutter, which I think is definitely a nice pop right there. Gives her a nice bit of personality, high quality stuff, if you ask me. So that's looking pretty good. This one has a titanium backspacer that is crown, aka jimped, and then that works as your lanyard solution right there for my lanyard people. The pocket clip on this bad boy is a little bit different than on the Chad and the Django. Right, they went here with a slightly slimmer pocket clip. It is reversible though, so it does have that going for it. By the way, the pocket clip is reversible in all these other models too, right? There's the pocket clip, you can actually mount it on the other side. Some of these even have, I think, a wire clip as a backup clip, right? Check that out. These can be easily reversed, right? A crossbar style lock, after all, is pretty ambidextrous friendly. So this one even has a beautiful filler tab on the other side to match that up. As far as the blade goes, take a look at this thing, right? It's a beautiful drop point blade with a flat grind L Max steel on this one and a satin finish. I mean, this thing is super slicey, right? Cardboard destroyer for sure. I mean, absolutely no task that this thing can't accomplish. And when you have this thing on the pocket, I mean, I've carried this one plenty of times. I typically go for a smaller EDC. Come to find out, this thing has such a crazy size, but I have carried it a ton. And I know when I carry my Pulsar XL, there's no task, you know, big or small, that I can't accomplish with this knife, right? Whatever it is, you know, my EDC daily journey takes me, this thing will definitely perform. And you know, the action is great. The cutting performance is really good. Again, check out, you know, the videos on the Pulsar XL for more detail. You can see my scientific cutting test and all that good stuff. Kind of see this knife in action. But yeah, very, very cool knife from Kunwu. Again, the quality is amazing. The value per dollar here is through the roof, and that's just gonna be a recurring theme. That's just what Kunwu does. So check out the Kunwu Pulsar XL. Or if you're like me, maybe you have average hands and not the biggest of hands, probably don't get the XL. Get the regular size Pulsar and you'll be pretty happy with it, right? I got the XL here. I don't regret it, but maybe I'll get a regular size Pulsar at some point because I just like it so much. And moving on to the last and final one here, we have this recent borrowed one from the Lefty EDC knife pass around, and that is the boom, Kunwu Compadre, right? Or as I should say in Spanish, Compadre. So the Compadre here is an awesome knife from Kunwu. You're probably familiar with the Padre, right? The father, the daddy, right? That is the bigger version of this. And then they made a mini version of the Padre. That is the Compadre. And that is this guy. So I've gotten a chance to EDC this one for quite some time, having a blast with it. And just, you know, not looking forward for sending it forward in the pass around, but this thing has so much going for it. Let's break it down. First of all, you actually get the premium, right, Damascus color going on there, right, which is nice. It definitely gives it an additional pop of personality. Beautiful titanium milled diamond pattern milled scales, which looks good. You have a jimped crown back spacer there, which works as your lanyard solution back here. I cannot begin to tell you guys, this curve handle right here, so good for the ergos. It's so good for the ergos. So when you're gripping this knife, right, the fact that it's curved, it works really good. Believe it or not, also works really good on the sort of pakal grip. Not that you'll ever be out there doing that unless you're lefty, right? Thursday night, Friday night fighting at 7-Eleven for your Slurpee. But yeah, definitely really good ergos all around. You do have the sort of curvature here for finger choil. This one is for your standard grip, my full purchase all day, every day with my average size hands. I can forward choke here and get way more control of the blade, which is perfect, right? Good jimping here on the blade as well, which is great. I mean, and then as far as deployment options go, we have opening hole here, right? So I can reverse flick this thing all day. Feels so good. Thumb deploy, right? All day, every day. And this front flipper, this has got to be one of the no-brainers, no hassle, you know, you could do this in your sleep type of front flippers ever. I'm thinking of making a video here in the channel of best front flippers ever, like easy mode. Some other companies out there who make front flippers complicated, but the front flipper here is so well tuned. You can do this thing again in your sleep. So you can do reach around side of your index finger, right? Regular front flipper deployment is so good in every single way. And then you got the blade, right? So we have Vanex steel on this particular one, satin finish on it with a flat grind. And then we have this sort of sheep's foot blade, right? Call it reverse tanto, whatever rocks your boat. It's kind of a clip, you know, sort of clip point sheep's foot blade, right? If you want to call it that. I'll give you a little bit of a zoom right here so you guys can see it a little bit better. And it's just, I mean, such a great performing edge. This thing is super slicey. By the way, all of these Kunwu knives are laser beams out of the box, and they perform so well. I haven't even had to sharpen any of mine, even after, you know, having carried them for months. So yeah, that tells you a lot. So Vanex, great super steel here. They went all the way to the top, which is great. Love to see that. Also love that the hole also has like a fuller section. That's pretty good. That's a nice little touch of personality there. You can still use the tip for, you know, utility cuts and draw cuts and what have you. Don't have to bend the wrist all that much. You know, we got a little bit of a swedge going on as well. I mean, all through and through. When I first saw this knife, I was like, well, I mean, I'm not sure if I like the Padre all that much. And, you know, and I kept hearing, you know, other YouTubers saying nothing but great things about it. I obviously lean towards the other one because the other three that you just saw are already my knives. But now that I'm checking out the mini version of the Padre here, the Compadre, I'm like, man, I absolutely get exactly what everybody else was talking about. And I get it 100%. This thing is an absolute W from Kunwu, and I'm just really, again, having a blast with it. I definitely have added it to my bucket list here to pick up in the very near future, right? Love the mini version. I mean, it's just great for EDC, great for my size hands. I know the Padre is a little bit bigger, so I'm not sure. I might go with the Compadre when I purchase my own, but yeah, absolutely can't recommend this thing enough. It is a frame lock. I believe maybe they make a crossbar lock version of it, just like the other three you've seen. But, you know, this one gives you something a little bit different, right, to kind of diversify a little bit. So, you know, my other three are crossbar locks. This one's a frame lock, so it's a different, you know, overall disengagement experience and whatnot. It's a little bit of a shake shutter right there, like that. And again, it's just, I'm gonna go ahead and stop fidgeting with the knife. Like, hey man, why can't you just put the knife on the table so I can take a picture of it? You move the knife around too much. What's going on with you? What's the matter with you? Okay, well listen, Linda. Let me go ahead and put the knife on the table for you so you can take, right, some pictures. There you go. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring all the knives back out here together. So we have the Compadre right there, right? We have the Pulsar XL. You can see, you know, size comparison, the sheer difference in size. This is a mini version of the Padre, which is already bigger, but an XL is already a bigger version of the regular size. Here is the Chad for size comparisons, right? Size-wise, obviously a little bit shorter than the XL, the Pulsar XL. And here is the Django, right? Great size for EDC, a little bit bigger than the Compadre, a little bit shorter than the Chad. These are, once again, 4 cool, amazing knives from Kunwu that you should definitely check out if you haven't already. If you're brand new to Kunwu, you're definitely missing out. Check out their knives. I have links for their website and all of these models down below, so you guys can check out prices, availability, variants, right? If you compare other manufacturers for titanium milled handles and, you know, all these premium steels, LMAX, Vanex, and PM60, right? You're gonna find out. By the way, not a lot of people are doing PM60, first of all, so it's just a Kunwu thing, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. And just overall, I mean, they actually charge reasonable prices for the value you're getting on these knives. So check them out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps support what I do here. Please do consider subscribing. I promise you will be worth coming back for more. I make knife and EDC content like this on a daily basis. You would not want to miss out. Shout out to my Patreon supporters and channel members for supporting what I do here. You guys are the best. You guys can support the channel on Patreon or here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You guys will get access to exclusive perks. Check out those other 2 videos on your screens there. I recommend the one on the left. YouTube recommends the one on the right. Take care, guys. Thank you for your love and support, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.